Tennessee Valley, parts of 7 states, 40,000 square miles, 2 million people, all living in a region blighted by the misuse of land and by the wash of small streams carrying away the fertile soil. In these cabins, life has changed but little since some pioneer wagon broke down a century ago, and for them, this became the promised land. Occupations, when they exist at all, are primitive and throwback to an earlier America. Here stand the results of poor land, limited diet, insufficient schooling, inadequate medical care, no plumbing, industry, agriculture, and electronification.
Beats me how you see the reading out loud.
What's the matter with it?
What's the matter with it? You squinted in your nose like you had a bug on the end of it.
Same light I've been using for the last 20 years.
Yeah, and look at you now. Your glasses are thick enough to fry eggs and we haven't got sun in this dump.
Andy Jackson uses a lamp like this, Nora.
But it was just too bad for Andy. Besides, they didn't have electricity in them days.
Maybe I better read during the day.
How?
What do you mean, how?
How you gonna read when you're out there plowing from sun up to dawn?
Maybe I better quit reading.
That's right. Don't do nothing about it. Just give in and don't make no fuss. Everybody can love you.
What do you want me to do, Nora? The wick's up, the high as it'll go.
Never mind the wick. How about a couple of nice little electric lights around you?
Now, we've been over this before. And that ain't nothing I can do about it.
Ain't there?
You heard what Joe Frank said. His farm is bigger than mine. He can use more lights, and the company told him, nothing doing.
So, you and Joe are getting up a little club to read in the daytime, eh? Suppose they told you you couldn't have any air. Would you stop breathing?
What's that got to do with it?
Well, light's just as important as air.
Sure it is, but...
Don't butt me! Why don't you go out and do something about it?
Nora, if they don't want to string lights out my farm, I can't make them.
Who said you can't? Who says you can't? Go up there and raise holy blazes until they give them to you. Tell them you're an American citizen. Tell them you're sick and tired of looking at fans and heaters and vacuums and dishwashing machines and catalogs and you'd like to use them for a change. Tell them, what the hell do you think, Andy Jackson? You're always talking about would do in a case like this.
In nearby Chattanooga,
Well, here it is. First of the month. $6.92? Say, what do they do with the juice around here? Eat it?
No, darling, we burn it.
But good Lord, I only pay $35 a month to rent this whole house.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, it just seems all out of proportion. If this keeps up, I'll have to cut my life insurance.
Well, that'll be nice.
Of course, if I had the kind of wife who turned off a light when she walked out of the room, I wouldn't have to.
I did that once and you nearly broke your leg coming out of it.
Well, we've got to cut down. Our bills should not be more than $3 a month.
Alright, let's turn off the radio.
Well, how can I hear my football games if we do that? Let's stop using the vacuum.
And let me get down on my hands and knees, not on your life.
Well, how about the washing machine? You used to send that stuff out.
Yeah, and your shirts came back without cuffs, remember?
Well, we've got to do something. You got any ideas?
I got one.
Well, what is it?
Did it ever occur to you that maybe those electric companies are charging too much?
Well, sure it did, but what am I going to do about it? Bump my head against the wall?
No, but you could complain to the State Electric Commission.
Look, dear, I'm one little consumer. How can I fight a utility?
Tell the commission. That's what they're there for.
Why, they won't even listen to me.
Make them. Tell them that your taxes are paying their salaries. Tell them that that's what they're there for, to regulate things. Tell them you're sick and tired of making dividends for somebody else. About time that little fellow got something in place. And tell them you'll be damned if you give up listening to those football games on Saturday afternoon. Now get going.
My God, I got lots to tell you.
Certainly, Mr. Parker. You can have all the lights you want. All I've got to do is pay for the cost of poles and wires.
But I haven't got $400, and my farm's mortgaged up to hilt already. Can't you see? If I could only get juice, I could make me an electric churn that makes money to pay for the poles.
I'm sorry, Mr. Parker, but that's the way we operate. I'm afraid I can't do a thing for you.
And I got to go living the rest of my life with a kerosene lamp and a hand churn like my grandfather did when he came here?
Until you can raise the cost of the equipment.
Isn't there anybody else I can talk to?
I'm the manager here. There's nobody else.
Isn't there any other company I can go to?
We're the only one in this part of the state.
Then when you turn me down, I'm finished?
That's right.
By God, the government ought to do something about this.
Mr. Commissioner, my bills are way too high.
Have you had your meter tested?
Yes, I've had it tested twice. The meter's alright, but the bill's just high.
Mr. Clark, you're not paying 1 cent more for your electricity than anybody else.
I know that. That's not the trouble. The trouble is that we're all paying way too much.
Mr. Clark, the company that sells you is working on a margin of 7 to 8%. We consider that a fair profit, and so will you if you're a businessman.
Look, Mr. Commissioner, I'm not asking you to argue with me on behalf of the utilities. I'm a taxpayer. I'm paying your salary. I want you to go argue with them. What's the commission for, if it's not for guys like me?
Mr. Clark, the law permits any private enterprise to make a fair return on its investment.
It does, eh?
And the law permits any company to charge any rate so long as the fair profit is maintained.
It does, eh? Well, tell me this. If laws are made for utilities, then why aren't laws made for people like me?
And me.
And me.
And me.
May 18th, 1933. The United States government answers. The Tennessee Valley Authority is created for the purpose of 1. Flood control of the Tennessee River Basin, 2. Elimination of soil erosion, and 3. The social and economic rehabilitation of the swampland and hill people of the district. For the generation of distribution of cheap electric power and the establishment of a cost yardstick.
Ethan, get away from me.
I'm not in here, you read it.
Shh, guys, shh, guys, shh, guys. Just silence for like 5 seconds.
We've got to do something. You got any ideas?
No.
Bit taller than Brooke. Right there. It's like
Sit like a
cross your legs.
A little bit, please. Your shirt is, you got a little.
It's a nice flannel.
Thank you. It's not mine.
I know, it's
Go.
Use more lights, and the company told. Oh, shh.
Start back up.
Ooh, your feet stink.
Oh, and you have nice boobs. Can I have a bite?
I'm a man on fire, walking through